So you've gone to the pool, but you've only got 30 minutes. What are you gonna do? Hey, I'm Casey Arndt. I'm a swim triathlon coach here in Austin, Texas, and I want to give you some suggestions for how to make use of even a short swim. So in general, if you're getting ready for an Olympic or a 70.3 or even an Ironman, 30 minutes is not typically going to be enough time for a really quality swim in general. Like, you're looking to build some good muscular endurance, you're going to want a much longer swim, but sometimes you've got to get to work a little earlier than you expected. The pool is going to close and you just have a little bit of time, but how can you make those 30 minutes that you've got really quality, even though it's not a full-length swim like you really wanted to? Well, I've got a couple suggestions for you. Now, typically what I see people doing is they get in the pool and they just see how far they can swim until they run out of time. And if you're still working through kind of needing to have that mental edge, knowing that you can keep on swimming for a really long time, that can be useful. But if you're looking to build muscular endurance, if you're looking to build skills, generally what happens in a continuous swim is that you just get slower and slower over time. You're maybe not thinking about your technique that much because you're getting tired, or you're just unfocused and you're thinking about what you're going to cook for breakfast or dinner or whatever, and your mind is just kind of all over the place. So sometimes that continuous swim is not really high quality. So how can you make this short swim more quality? Well, the first recommendation is you're going to want to break it up into some intervals so that you can stay focused on what you're trying to do. And 3 things that I can suggest that you might want to try to do with those shorter intervals are to work on your technique, to work on some open water skills, specifically sighting, and to also work on a bit of speed. So whereas that continuous swim is just trying to get you to survive to this long distance, having a much shorter swim in there, especially if you're not from a swimming background, this can be a great way to get used to kind of suffering in the pool. I'm not sure that sounds like something you want to do, but having some speed in there can be a really great thing. So I just want to talk about those things really quick. So, and at the end, I'm going to give you a link, or you can find it in the description. I've written 2 short 30-minute workouts. They're kind of 2 lengths, so if you're a slower swimmer or you really are short on time, you can use the shorter version or the longer version if you've got more time, or you're kind of a speedy person, you can get through a lot of yards. So look for the link there, and you can grab those 2, stick them in a baggie, take them with you to the pool, and use them when you only have a little bit of time. They can just hang out in your gym bag, be waiting for you. Okay, so here's 3 things you can do in that short workout. The first one is technique. Again, I really recommend short intervals so you can stay focused on what you're trying to do. There are so many things that you could be working on, and this could just be regular freestyle. You don't even need drills, you don't even need equipment. You could just be thinking about your posture, keeping your shoulders very square with your shoulder blades pulling together in the back, thinking about a good stretch through your core where you've got your hips and your ribs equally far apart on both sides. This tautness, this tone, this posture in your core can be really wonderful for your technique. And if you've never really thought about your core when you're swimming, it feels weird to have it just so on, like so toned and a little bit rigid. It might feel rigid to you if it's kind of new, and holding on to that for a long time might be tough, but if you can do 25s and 50s, you can start to get used to it, gradually incorporate that into your regular swimming. That's one thing you could do. You can also think about alignment in another way. I have this really evil buoy that I like from Finis, and you can use a normal buoy too, just put it between your ankles, and what happens is if you've got good rotation and everything's aligned, you'll just feel your legs rotating. But if you've got something out of whack, for instance a crossover or something weird in your pull where you're coming across your body, what you'll notice instead is that your legs are fishtailing, and this evil buoy is kind of like being in the stocks, and it holds you, and so you want to feel that rotation instead of crazy fishtailing all over the place. If you have a really limited time to swim and you really want to get in touch with your core and your posture and your alignment in the pool, just throw that buoy between your ankles and it will be an unforgettable experience. And you probably won't want it to go on really long anyway, but it's a good reminder to keep your core on. So that's a great thing to do. You can also be working on just keeping your kick really light but effective to get your legs up. That's all you want. You don't want it for propulsion. You could also work on your propulsion from your arms. I talked about that in a previous video. If you head on over to my YouTube channel, I've got the link there. You'll find one of me in my Team USA outfit I forget what the name of the video is, but it's got my name across my chest backwards. Sorry about that. And you can click on that one and hear all about how to propel yourself through the water. So technique is a great thing to work on. As far as open water skills, you could just get in there and you could swim a whole bunch of 50s where you're sighting 3 times every length and really work on getting that to be fluid. Just this quick head turn, lift to the front and then right into your breath. And the more you're doing that, the more fluid it becomes, the less weird it is to introduce that into your stroke, the easier it's going to be on race day to be confident that you can sight pretty frequently, and then you're going to swim super straight. It's a great thing to be practicing at the pool. So the third thing is to do some speed. And if you are used to just swimming continuously in your workouts and you don't really usually do intervals, this might take some doing at first. I know some people feel like their technique kind of falls apart when they try to swim fast, but I think it's useful to try to keep your cadence under control, keep your kick under control, and yet speed those things up all a little bit, and really get some good power from your arms and put all those things together into an effort that actually gets your heart rate up quite a bit, but is still powerful, still aligned, still technically good, and gets you down the pool really fast. Now, if you're watching the pool clock or you're watching your watch on those, see how fast you can get. You can do some 25s, some 50s. You can change up the speeds. You could, say, do a 100 where the first 25 is slow and you're gradually building to fast as you get to the end of that 100. You could challenge yourself to do a group of 50s where each 50 gets faster as you go through the set. Sometimes that's really tricky because you really don't know how easy to start to be able to make number 3 or number 4 or even number 5 way faster than the one that you did at the beginning. That can be a great pacing challenge. So I really recommend doing that. If you really want to swim continuously, but you're feeling energetic and you really want to go for it, you could throw in some warm-up and then do a 1,000-yard time trial. And that's going to give you a really good sense of what your aerobic pace is for your mile to 2.4 mile swim. If you take that full time and then divide it by 10, you're going to get your time per 100, and that can be a really good indication of where you're at. You could do that at the beginning and the end of the season and see how your swimming has improved. So those are my ideas for your 30-minute workout. If you want something really practical that you can just stick in a baggie and take it and throw it on the pool deck and follow it, I definitely recommend that you click on that link. You're going to get instant access to 2 of those workouts, and I think they're really going to be helpful. So thanks for joining me today. I will see y'all next week. Thank you so much, and happy swimming.